Growing up, you may have played a game called Telephone or Whisper Down the Alley. Both games pass along a message sequentially from the first person in line to the last person. The message, the information changes from person to person who gives it down the line until that original message bears little semblance of the original intent as it was delivered, as it has been delivered to the last person. Now, why is this important to understand? Because, dear esteemed viewer, it is vitally important that you establish your own connection to source, to your spirit guides, to your intuition, to your higher self, however you like to categorize it. But I'm here to tell you that pharmaceutical drugs, paying other people money, counselors, psychologists, all of that is unnecessary. When you establish connection with your higher self, which is your conduit to intelligent infinity, and this establishing of this communication can be a very fulfilling feeling because you realize at that moment and all moments when you're in connection to your divine source that you are never alone. Someone is always there with you at your side and will be your constant guide throughout your life. There's no reason to pay other people or have some kind of thing outside of yourself. What do you think Master Yeshua, the greatest emissary of light, was talking about when he said the kingdom of heaven is within you? Your kingdom of heaven, the keys, getting keys to open the gate within. Once you are in touch with your spirit, your conduit to source energy, that conduit will never let you down. It will never lead you down the wrong path, and it will always provide you the information that you need in the moment. And if you think about this in the sense of the word telecommunications, divine telecommunication. And now the word telecommunication, it comes from the Greek word, the prefix tele, T-E-L-E, which means distant, combined with the Latin word communicare, which means to share. So we have a concept of divine telecommunication, of using your body as a vessel for divine communication. And once you establish that, and it can be a process in and of itself to understand how we experience the world through our perception channels and learning how to listen to your internal stimulus. That is, in a sense, is the divine communication. Your emotions, your feelings, all of the apparatus and divine wiring of our bodies as are created. We have been made in the image of the gods, or God, however you like to say it, but we have a very sophisticated inner divine mechanism. So we take an external stimulus, and now this is talking about our perception channels, and an external stimulus, a ray of sunlight, or the voice of a friend, and it's transmitted to our brain via our nervous system by means of electrical, all is electromagnetism, interfacing with chemical signals. Now, these images, sounds, and other sensations are generated from external stimuli within our inner mechanisms, our inner wirings. And these sensations represent the external stimulus. And once you learn how to decipher those inner promptings, whether it be your intuition, certain feelings, a certain itch, or what have you, could be clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, your knowing, divine knowing. In some cases, it could be a voice. But this is all ways that your divine guide communicates with you and your connection to source, as it were. Now, I want to share just a brief sort of a picture here with you, dear esteemed viewer. Now, I did mention that it's not necessary to, pay other, psychologists, psychiatrists, or take some kind of pharmaceutical, drug or something, for mood enhancement or any of that stuff. Divine knowledge is all that's necessary. I call it radiant effulgence. Many people have different names for it, but you will come up with your own name. Kundalini. It's all related. Okay. So I want to share one diagram with you here. And now this is a sort of a little cross section of the different centers, our centers of perception. And, and we're looking at the mouth, the ear and eye and here, and we have down here the hand. And so in this representation, these centers are systems of psychic speech, and these are their principal material association. We have the auditory center, your visual center, motor center of speech, motor center of writing, intellectual center. And this chart, this is the kingdom of heaven within. This is the key of all intellectual, psychic, and spiritual power. The kingdom of heaven is within. And with all of these tools that we just looked at, which are within you, which are part of your divine design, you're going to have the secret of all power. Hit that subscribe button. I did mention you don't need anything outside of yourself, but it is helpful to be subscribed to this channel, this Umbanda New Earth Ashram for Compassion and Strength and Electro Sciences of Magnetics. Yeah, that's it. So we have the center, the different auditory centers and all that. And I want you to understand that this power is within you to be successful in all things through gnosis, through knowledge, and repetition and constant practice of going over these concepts. I mean, Shakespeare, Milton, Napoleon, Christ, Confucius, and thousands of people have consciously or unconsciously practiced or exercised the self-same principles in the abstract. This explains their wonderful successes in life because they focused on things within. They did not look outside of themselves. And the moment that your mind ceases to vibrate with your conscious thoughts, because people are always identifying with their narcissistic ego. But once you let that go and allow that to be seen through as the illusion that it is, and you touch your inner conduit, which is radiant effulgence, which is your chi, your ki, your prana, your superconscious, your subconscious mind. It is your atman, your soul. Everything is in you, is inside of you. And all of this information is meant to self-empower the individual. And once you realize that these psychic centers are the actual kingdom of heaven within you, then you begin to understand that all power is contained in the air that you breathe. That is the beginning. I'm just kind of freestyling this right now, but all power is contained in the air that you breathe. So all depends upon the knowledge of storing air, of having air intake. And I'll say one quick thing on air intake. Let's say you breathe in through your nostrils, because your nostrils has hair follicles that are a natural filter, and you breathe in for 6 seconds. Hold it for about 4 or 5 seconds. Breathe out, and breathe out 2 seconds longer, at least 2 seconds longer than the in-breath. And then doing that repeatedly, you will activate your vagus nerve system. And you will understand that all power is contained in the air that you breathe and the method in which you breathe that air. And of securing the vital principle that it contains. And the vital principle is life force. The vital principle is radiant effulgence. The vital principle through your breathing, through your prana, through your chi, through your ki, is life force, is the secret of all power. And so it is.
Namaste, namaskaram.